Hey, so we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and we're about to commence the Let's Chat stream. So, for those that are not catching us live, catching us late, so to speak, that means that you will have the butt herpes that I've cursed you to for those that were late. But if you have, and you have turned up, then I've got the QR. Let's see who's on first. Lauren is shining. Fantastic to have you here. It's great to be here. We've just had technical issues extremo. The mucho respecto to these fingers that finally worked it out. The paramedic of the keyboard, so to speak. We've got Joshy Hammer. We've got Aiden. Look what happens with the threat of arse herpes. Everyone is suddenly here. We could call a roll. All present, sir. We've got Paddy Divers here. We've got human, so respect me. All right. Have you eaten an animal today? Did you give them the respect back? Remember, this is also a stream of dedication to every animal that hasn't been pat in the last 24 hours as well. Guys, I can see you all here. So we're not stuffing around. Let's go through some quick ground rules. The questions that I'll be answering today, in order, will be the questions within the comments that are replies to the questions that you asked through comments on the video that I put out yesterday. It went for 8 minutes. The comments are in there, and I'll go through them in no particular order. You've tested me. There's been some fantastic questions, and you're going to hear my version in the trenches of those answers. We've got someone straight off the bat there with a donation. That's gobbledygook. That's the way to get noticed, that's for sure. And thank you very much. And Utsu Cal. Make sure you do put a thumbs up. I'm going to leave you in the gentle hands of our moderators, which is the people, the lovely ladies and men of the moderators, which will be in blue there. Gobbledygook, thank you very much. Guys and girls, with no further ado, let's get on with the questions and understand that this is a platform where if you're going to sit with Google looking up and fact-finding everything I say, you're going to find out that 52% of what I say is correct. So hang on, enjoy the answers, and welcome to the stream, the Australian stream, the Forever stream, the Forever channel that is here for you. Your escape from the modern TV, from the hysteria, to allow you to be able to step out of the world you're in and be around like-minded individuals that are able to take elements of the truth and then create table talk so that tomorrow at work you are able to regurgitate that or start a topic that you would like to know more about. Maybe this is the fabric, the patchwork quilt that allows you to start looking at subjects, join them together, and actually start to work out who you are as an individual. I hope you've all had a good day. I hope you haven't been in the zombie charge of the Boxing Day sales for toilet paper that seems to be happening in Australia. When they came out of Coronas, I wasn't sure where this is attached to the shitting. But maybe I need to go and get some toilet paper, or I don't want to look like I'm one of the preppers myself. Mr. P, good to see you here, mate. So, guys and gals, what we're going to do is we're going to step off now straight away with your questions of In the Trenches with Kaz. So here come the answers. Be respectful to each other, and I'm not going to have time to go into your individual comments here. So please, respect to each other. Okay, the very first one off the top of the bat is from Jody Stevens. Jody is one of our US family members, and her lovely husband, Maddie, looks like Santa sometimes. Well, they're over there, and they're just letting us know that this Friday, Chantel and Ed B, our other US veteran family members that have been going through the tornado over there at the moment. I haven't been up to date with the toll over there, but I hope everything's well for all of those in your area of influence. But they're about to have their 18th anniversary. So well done to Chantel. You've got your hands on a veteran, and he's there to keep. So well done. Thank you to you guys, and I love yous, and I like talking to yous. Right, we've got Maddie. Everyone, Maddie has just had some really bad news. Matt Man. He's one of our Patreon members, right, and he has just found out he's 27 years old. He wanted to join the military. That's all he wanted to join. He's a shearer. He is a goddamn hard-working man. He's a working-class man. That's me rocking. He's a 260 sheep a day guy. Now, normally it takes a Kiwi to go through that many of the young lasses. But Matty, it wasn't enough to make him a gun shearer, but Matty's just found out that his back has got some issues in it that the doctors found that he can't feel himself, and that has kiboshed him from being able to go for military service. So it doesn't matter how tough you are. It doesn't matter how fit you are or how fit you feel. The Army will step in with their practitioners and they will say no if they believe our organisation could cripple you in the long run. So, Matty, mate, thank you for your support. And you're going to go through a whole series of emotions, thought processes from anger, sadness, regret, whatever. But we're here with you, mate. Nutsu cow to the white warrior and to all the sheep that you called home. Robbie Wool, you can share him. Okay, we've got Maker Owner. Kaz, you should make a video on your thoughts regarding the peace deal with the Taliban and what this would mean for the Aussie and Brit and American troops. That's an excellent question. And there's something that you need to know. With the Taliban peace treaty with the US, I don't know how this is going to go down. It's an off-ramp for the US to get out of there, sure, and they can probably even use the fact that they are now energy independent to be able to say we don't need the Middle East, so to speak, anymore, or a strategic value if we don't intend on ever going back to their fossil fuels, etc. One of the things that scares me is the war on terror is not about just Afghanistan. You've been there for 18 years. You've lost so many soldiers. So have we. So have the Brits, and so have the Dutch, Kiwis, etc. The thing is, it feels like the ground has all been given up. There's been 76 attacks in the last few days of the Taliban on government forces. One of those times, Donald Trump had to intervene, and they had aerial strikes on Taliban because the talks haven't been made yet. But the fear is the government is not actually sitting at the table. It is a terrorist organisation, being the Taliban. They have 5,000 prisoners in jail. These are terrorists. They're not soldiers. They're not freedom fighters. When you saw what they did before the war commenced on the war on terror, the war in Afghanistan, we were asked to come. We went to the screams in the night, the screams in the shadow, and we gave coalition blood to save the people of Afghanistan, to give them a chance, despite the fact that their IQ is somewhat limited. Okay, and that's because they're not a developed civilization. The scary thing is that if you free these 5,000 Taliban, and that is one of their demands of having the peace talks to allow the US, Australian troops, etc., to get the hell out of Dodge, did him out from the village, run. The scary thing is that's 5,000 people, terrorists. They're going to get out with an axe to grind, and they've already got the upper hand. They've already got the winning hand, so to speak, against the government forces. Now, there's going to be reprisals, and anyone that actually teamed up with Australia, US, Canada, Brits, Dutch, etc., it's going to be a scary prospect for those that we called ally. We don't know what's going to happen next, but I tell you what, it ain't going to be bloody good, because there's one thing the Arab nation is really good at, and that's turn the crocodile's eyes on, and also having a very bloody long memory to those that have crossed them. How will it affect Australia? They need to get the hell out before the US, I'm telling you now. 13,000 US there. We're in the fourth phase of war. Okay, for those that don't know, and for those that have military experience or limited military experience, I'm not talking about the preparatory stage, the attack, the exploitation, and the reorg that happens within an attack. The four phases of war is the advance, the attack, the defense, which they're actually doing, but also now they're into the fourth phase, which is the withdrawal. You would think the attack is the most dangerous time, but it's not. Oh, well, it is. But it is also extremely precarious in the fourth phase of war. And we saw that in Vietnam when you're getting chased, and we saw it with Australians at Gallipoli. When you're trying to make it to the exit, that is when you're going to get chased in by all of the bandits as they come and try to get as much land as they can. Again, like a Boxing Day sale. They're going to come and try to get the weaponry that's left behind. There's going to be defections from the government forces over to the Taliban as they try to save their hide, saying, see, I am on your side, because it will be choose sides there. And I reckon it's going to go extreme over in Afghanistan. And I believe that they're backing the fact that the Taliban can't be beaten by the government forces, therefore have the peace talks with the Taliban. The Taliban will then be the leading class, put the oppression back onto the government forces, and the new leaders of Afghanistan is going to be Taliban and their regime. How does it affect Australians? It doesn't affect us. All it means is those that are there will be shipped out as the fourth phase of war, right, and will never go back there again. I can put my hand on your heart and tell you that. Right? Our interest in the Middle East, I believe, is gone. Just like for the US when they never came and assisted in Rwanda because they just had to lick their wounds from Black Hawk Down with the Somalia incident. I hope that's an answer for you. So if you're not in Afghanistan right now, you ain't ever going back to Afghanistan. And the job they're doing at there at the moment is not seek out and close enemy, kill, catch them, season, hold ground, repel, tap or die, not regard season, weather, terrain in a kinetic format. The infantry are there as protection. There'll be medical there, and there'll be engineers, and there'll be everyone that's under that are there for the restabilization and handover back to government forces, which is not likely to go smoothly. I think it might be a very real case of I see nothing, and I'm sorry. Rwanda 2.0, I hope it's not. Okay, I hope that answers your question, mate. Lyndon Arkle, what is a characteristic that you believe every leader should possess? This is a fantastic guy, again, another one of our Patreons, and a delicious coffee maker, barista, the manager of one of the coffee shops across the road. Sanchuros, fantastic people. Leadership. I think that is what I expect from leaders. It's easier to say, what do you want from a leader? Okay, I want honesty. I want moral courage. Okay, I want him to be physically up to the task. But it's all encapsulated by actually him having leadership, because then all of those things will be there in spades. In a leader, there should be something about him that all those that follow, despite the fact that he's younger, despite the fact that he comes from a different education tree, hasn't been through the same levels of training you have as a coalface fighter, he is the subject matter expert at leadership in tactical maneuver of forces and understanding and discriminating on the enemy to understand their their most dangerous courses of action, their center of gravity, what gives him the derives his ability to want to fight, his center of gravity, etc. He will do all that training so he can come in and then assist you. But I need them to have that leadership. Now, if I asked you, do you have to like your boss? Would you rather a boss that's going to get you home safe or a boss you don't like? I'm sure the guys didn't necessarily like Julius Caesar or Hannibal, but he got them home safely most of the time. And that was because they were bloody good leaders. You can't always have both. I know some fantastic officers where you love the guy. And I know some officers that were very, very hard in the first year because they'll find themselves. And then by the end of the second year, you didn't want them to go ever. So I would say leadership. I want him to be proactive in studying history. I want him to learn from the mistakes that officers made in the past. I want him to be a student of history so he doesn't repeat the crime of being tardiness with the preparation for missions, etc. Every single mission should be treated like a game of poker, not the gamble, not the risk, but I mean reset, reevaluate. Don't assume the last patrol was benign, was easy going, no dramas. Let's get lazy with the next one. Keep the discipline up, and get your guys home safely. But he's got to be able to send also the people he likes the most into harm's way because they're more likely to get the job done. Yeah. Okay, Lyndon, I hope that helped, mate. We're going on next to, I'm going blind here. Alexa. Hey, Kaz, wasn't quite the first one on this time. I was wondering what you think about combat engineers. Love engineers, don't want to be one. I was talking to an army trooper and he's been trying to convince me to go to combat engineers. If you want to do that, it's not a combat course, so to speak. They will be in front of us. They will do route clearances. They'll do route denials for the enemy. If you want to be on the weapons, then you go to infantry or you go to cav. If you want to be on machinery, if you want to get a certification, if you want to get a qualification that you can do while you're in, my recommendation to you would be go to infantry or go to cav. I know what you're thinking, Kaz, they're full. I get it. If that wasn't the case, infantry or cav, and then do 4 to 10 years in there. And then after that, then go to engineers, get your trades, get your big tickets, and then either go to another place within Army, right, taking your rank with you and your paycheck. But also what you could be doing is upskilling and then getting out into the civilian world. At the moment, with what's going on, the best place to be is in a government job. It really is. We're an uncharted territory, team. We really are. Engineers is fine. Yep. But you'll never go from engineers to infantry. But it's considered like a sideways move, not a backwards move to go from infantry to engineers. Yep. Elton John getting pounded, says Jeffrey. Sorry, says Neville Bloody Bartos. Sorry, that was in the last video for those that weren't caught on. Lauren really liked the photo that I put in there in yesterday's video. And that was all about a long exposure. That was going to the beach, Nobbies, and taking a photo of a fantastic landmark where people go because their missus broke up with them, because their dog died, or because they're in love and they're sharing an ice cream, in that tender moments. It's a beautiful spot. Go and check it out. It's on the Esplanade. You can't go wrong. And then walk up the Nobbies break wall as well. It's really good with the rock carvings that are up there. You'll love it. And the atmospheric ASMR of the sound of the ocean. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you, Lauren, for everything you do as our moderator, for our Patreon member, for your art creations, and for your advice that you give me in the wee hours. We've got Retro here. How do I feel a part of your helper group that how do I grab a Kaz t-shirt? Well, in the trenches with Kaz, the brand. I'm going to put another run in for those soon. I'm not sure how we're going to distribute those. Will there be an option for those that aren't part of Patreon, etc., to be able to purchase a shirt at the rock bottom price? Yeah, there will be, but we'll get into that another day. Other than that, if you want to assist the channel, I haven't put the link in below. It's not what defines me. It's the Patreon. Okay, you can find it easy enough. It's on the front page. Patreon, get in there, $5 a month, and then help me to help others. We're going to go and look for a volunteer worker soon. Female, male, doesn't matter. We're going to find someone and we're going to get them probably an Apple Watch. So a daily reminder that what they do for no thanks, just for others, is there on their wrist to remind them they're a special person. I hope you like the idea of that. From Western Australia, I'm on east side. He's on west side. Jay Hayes says, "G'day, Kaz. Can't wait for the live stream. Mucho respecto, Cobber." Mate, mucho respecto to Western Australia. Okay, subtitles. I hope you can understand that in the WA too there. Jay. PK used to be my favourite chewing gum. Sorry, guys, I'm not actually getting to your comments here, but we delivered that yesterday with the video. This is the way it was going to work. Yeah, respect to those that got in early. We've got PK here saying, "Kaz, love the Joe Biden clips." It's really sad, isn't it? He especially should be in a home or some sort. God help us if he was to ever become a leader, not as bad as what Bernie Sanders would be, of the free world. As a previous instructor, do you think you could one day do a video about what instructors look for both at Kapuka and Singleton? All the best, mate, and thanks for the great streams. That's an easy question. One, Mr. Biden, it is sad. He's not up to the task. He couldn't deal with Corona, I doubt. His professionals could. Those that work for him maybe could. But I don't think that he could deal with China. He definitely couldn't deal with – he's got so much crime over his head, no one even sees Hunter Biden. The gaffes that are coming out of this guy's mouth, I think that he's on a steady decline. Today, he accidentally got his missus and his bloody sister mixed up. That's a bit weird. Some states, probably acceptable. Tasmania, represent. Kapuka. in Kapuka, there is the competent and the not yet competent, right? There is either you are or you are not. There is a black and there's a white. There's only one way to do certain things. There is not a personality necessarily that has been embedded from the instructor at Kapuka. They come in for 40 minutes, they deliver a lesson, then they get the hell out of Dodge. That's what they do. They're not there to be your friend. As a matter of fact, familiarity breeds contempt, so they've got to spend the minimum amount of time with you as they swap over back and forth. It is very regimented and formal delivered lessons, with outcomes and TOs, training objectives that must be met. And he is getting assessed all the time by outside agencies, right? The difference when you go to the School of Infantry is you're going to have someone like myself, someone a little bit more laid back. The hand is taken off. The stress levels for you are what you put on yourself. Because basically we're going to have humor with you. There's going to be periods of time where we are in your area of influence for 24, 48, 36, 72 hours before you even go back to another organisation, before you see the rest of your platoon, where you just go for another ration resup and then you go out and learn. And you will be at the mercy of that section commander, not instructor. An instructor's there for 40 minutes, gets lost. A section commander stays around and mentors you above the line, right? Where are we? We've got an award for it. We all did in platoon team. And it's the above the line skill sets that you can give to people, that you can impart on the soldiers who are going to go to every corner of the regiment, and end up in commandos, end up in SASR, etc. We will teach the red-headed guy with fair skin who hates the sun, who has square tires on his push bike, how to get a girl with the tools that God has given him. We will have personality, but we'll also have the ability to ramp up and be able to whap. There's no one that can hear you scream, right, if you are the slowest in that group, or the group is suffering because someone is either IQ bankrupt, whether someone is fat and dragging ass and getting you all in the shit, and we're not actually reaching our achievements because someone wasn't physically capable. And that's where you find out where you want to go. Do I want to be like this guy? Do I want to go to the 2nd battalion? Do I want to go to the 1st battalion? You can ask them all the questions you've ever wanted to know that you can't find online, that maybe you've asked in the trenches with Kaz, but then going, I need more. MSG. So they're completely different. They don't have a hell of a lot in common, actually, section commander and instructor. And you'll find the same at Armoured Corps, but you won't find so much at technical schools that are aware there's only right and wrong artillery. They'll be instructors at their IET school more than they'll be section commanders. Yep. Bombardiers, whatever you call them. Sounds like someone with gastro. Lucas. Hey, mate, enlisted yesterday, and I want to hear from some fellow chocos on what the Tuesday parade nights are about. You'll get together, you'll get roll called. It is to be able to get you to turn up on the Tuesday night. Okay, Tuesday once a week, 1 weekend a month. That's what you have to give back to being able to wear the uniform. And you'll only do all soldier training and Kapuka preparation. You'll be in several groups until you get Kapuka qualified, then initial employment training qualified, specialised qualified, rank. All of these things will be different packages for different people, or one group activity where each component of that organisation is getting instructed or assessed by a regular soldier who's watching over, or a commander that is in a position where they're testing junior commanders on giving you lessons, etc. So you might do a lot, you might do bugger all. It depends on the unit, it depends on the staff, it depends on how many people turn up. Robbie Wool, great to have you here, Robbie. Great creative video production. I like the lighting, camera in the fridge. There wasn't too much vegetables in there, mate. The editing was imaginative, in 8 minutes of footage and probably 16 hours of work. Much appreciated. Mate, thank you. Thank you. It does take a lot to bring out a video team, which is why we say subscribe, tick the bell. There is not enough Australian YouTube channels. Get on board, tick it, because if you want to speak about Army, this is a great channel to come to. But we'll talk about anything. So you pitch the question to me and I'll pitch the answer. And then you can decide whether we are going in the same direction, whether you have an opposing view, then you can put it in comments to this video, not over here on the side, okay, but underneath after this is rendered, and then we can get to that question, and then we can build the tree, all right? Okay, the Housemaster. Kaz, I know you've mentioned on the old channel about partners and info on how they go with you in the ADF. Would be great. I've been with mine for 10 years. Well done, mate. And I'm worried how she will go. Looking to get in as a RAMI officer. Right. Well, a RAMI, it's almost not like being in the Army anyway, mate. The reason is you are so mechanically pushed for timelines to have the equipment out that you're a mechanic, you know, and you will be the coordinator, the project manager of these mechanics, so to speak. So as far as military goes, you're going to work some long hours, sure, you know, but, oh, geez, what would you say? So we're looking at you're at least 30 years old with your lady. Naturally, this should be a group decision. I'm wondering what age you actually are, because you want to go in and be an officer. You're going to be a technical officer. Chances are you're already qualified in that field, which makes it logical. You need to have a big conversation, mate, with your partner. You need to then say, okay, the best of all evils, if you have a partner who is saying, I'm ready to share this journey, but you've got to kind of meet me halfway, then that will come into where we're going to get posted. So she might say, hell no to going to Darwin, and I'm definitely not going to Adelaide. Can't go to Melbourne, or you can, Pucker's there, right? Would like to go to Brisbane, then you might go, okay, well, I'm going to try and get to Brisbane. The problem being, there is no guarantees that you're going to get to Brisbane. But what there is padres, there is people along the way that you can say, hey, I'm enlisting in the Army. But there is risks to plan, and that is that my partner is not 100% behind this. The mitigation to these risks is that you allow us to go to Brisbane so she can get a transfer with her career and be near her, because we have children, if you have, or planning on making children, which is fun. Do it a lot. Make a Mother's Day on Mother's Day. Make a mother. Yeah, that's probably better off a conversation or an entire video I can dedicate to partners. Taking a partner with you in the Army, getting a partner in a garrison town while you're in the Army. We've had that video before, like you said, but out of respect to your missus, it's probably better that I actually make an entire video for that one, for you, for her. Because if she's happy, you're going to be happy. We've got Warren. Cheers for the great content, Kaz. Anyone who packs a real camera should always seize the moment. Fantastic, mate. Totally agree. And he liked the picture we placed out too. Kane, here you go, mate. He's got his U session in a month. So it's not moving. I'll set it in 2 seconds. Thank you very much, Kane. And with your phone call the other day, that was really weird, man. If you're going to ring up, at least talk after you've answered the phone. That was like, I know what you did last summer. It was a little bit freaky. Cheers for great content, anyone. Okay, with the camera. Yeah. We know a lot of people with depression. We know a lot of people who have personality situations where they may not be near people. Cameras, you know, are a way that you can get up early, get out of the house, where you can grasp onto life, where you can get something from the worst day. When the sky is blown out, when the weather is shit, you can still go and do city candid photography of people. And something you may not have known. Hey, Johnny Paranormal, how you going? Good to see you back, mate. I'm back, mate. Thank you. And you get your own Not Too Cow bomb with every donation. Thank you, guys. Kane Higgins, guess what? Not Too Cow to you too. Did you know that it's completely legal to take photos of anyone in a public place? They can come to you and say, hey, look, mate, I don't want you taking photos of me. But you can also go, I get that. I'm not going to take more than one, but it's also legal. And it is. It's legal to take photography in a public environment. Yep. Shopping centre is not public. This weekend, tomorrow, I'm going up to Newcastle. When I go up to Newcastle, I'm going to be there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, either come home Sunday so I can see my little girl, or come home on Monday. But the whole intent is to see my parents, have a cup of coffee with my unofficial brother, who's kind of official, right, Cam Horman, and to get one photo. I just want one photo. Can you all meet me with one photo? Everyone on Patreon, can you try and get one photo in the next 72 hours and send it to me on the bat phone? Bam, bat phone, Patreon, one-on-one. Felix, I'm sorry I can't answer, mate. We're in the middle of a stream at the moment. I'll be with you in a second. So that's the quest. For all those in Patreon, get that photo, send it to the bat phone. I can't wait to see your entries. And you know what? We'll go one step more. If you're watching right now and you're on Patreon and you're going to send a photo, be part of this photo competition, do I need to make a video about it? We might give a Fitbit to the best photo that you guys, not me, vote is the best image. Let me know if you're happy with that. The Fitbit that fits you. As soon as you open the fridge, I know that you're my man. Okay, we've got Schuster. Hey, Kaz, I'm thinking of going to ADFA, and I have no idea what the food will be. If I was going to go and become an army officer, the last thing I would think I'd be worried about would be the food. That doesn't even make sense. You'll eat what you're given. I don't know who the cook is. Yeah, it changes. Mess food can be shit or it can be awesome. But it's normally buffet style. Okay, especially when you get to School of Infantry, it used to be double rations, as much as you could possibly eat. But don't get into the ice cream. We don't want any fatty boomsticks that are trying to get around the running track or looking unsightly in the in-ground indoor heated pool, which used to have a swimsuit model as one of the lifeguards. Imagine that. That's true. That ain't fake news. She's a lovely girl too. ABF. Hope you're doing well, Kaz. One question. What do you think on doing VCE or VCAL and then go to the career in the military? I don't even know what that is, man. I don't even know what that is. And either I am the dumbest hell. I see you there, JC. How you going, mate? I hope you enjoyed the video that was dedicated to you yesterday. I don't even know what those things are. Is that because I've been in the military for the last 30 years, take away the last 24 years. I've been, a lot of things are different, since I left school and all that sort of shit. Skippy Badge is back. Beautiful. It is. Bam. Straight back on the slouch chat. Skippy Badge. About $1.76. I know, but about 1 million bloody calories to earn it. And it is earned. 2 hat badges. The Skippy Badge and the Armoured Hat Badge are the only 2 you do not get until you are finished your initial employment training. Everyone else gets theirs at Kapuka. Yep. I believe you should have to earn it. Miss Ninja, holy fuzzballs. Hope all is safe in Tennessee. Yeah, it's not for everyone, mate, but I believe that the tornado is a thin strip that is ultimately devastating to small belts of area, but a lot of the other areas are sort of, hey, Fletcher, how you going, mate? Not so cow. Thank you very much. I think a lot of the areas, it's one of those cases of it's really unfair. There's no equity. Not everyone gets hit. Some get left completely alone. Others face absolute devastation. I don't know what it's like for an insurance point of view, like being in North Queensland, where it's very hard to insure your house after it's in a cyclone zone, or down in the fire areas where it's almost impossible to now insure your house. Leo the Wanker Stuntman is always here, one of our longest serving subscribers for the channel. Great to have you here, mate. I was thinking that myself. Kapuka would be a great fat camp. that Biden is a gibber. He is. He's losing his shit, and he's losing it fast. Sorry if I feel like I'm just skating through these, but I don't want to miss anyone. You've all been respectful. You put the comments there. You deserve an answer. And I'm sure that next time there'll be more people skipping the rope, getting their questions in and testing, will Kaz actually say it? I've already been through these, so I knew there was none that were actually going to get me in the shit. But I probably still would have brought it up anyway. Bo, hey Kaz, are there sessions where the infantry roles open and close? I graduate in 2021 and I really want to finish year 12 and straight away apply for the Army infantry role and get sent to Kapuka and recreate my last name. What a fantastic comment that is by Bo Cutton. Sorry, man, I'm almost blind now. Guys, this is a very rare event that's been happening for the past 4 years, where because of the tempo to get people into the military, basically what occurred was we absolutely filled it up. People come rushing in for the big adventure, but now that we've hit peacetime, it's like, why would you get out of a steady career in the middle of the coronavirus? And what else is about to happen? This is a future-proof career. But what's happened is there's such a long line of male soldiers that want to get in, that are also fighting against a not just a system where there is only limited numbers that are available, but there's also a affirmative action that is going because politics has crept in. Now, that's not going to affect you. Don't think that you are not getting in infantry because there is a massive tide of women going in there. There's bugger all. It is not really affecting you at all. And their success rate is so low that you could almost say it's negligible at all. And ladies, do not go for infantry. Don't go for cav. Just believe me, don't. I do this to help you, not to hurt you. Guys, there is such a line. As people get out, okay, that gap is being filled. All right. It's nothing you've done wrong. Is there an answer for it? Only if the army expands. We're going into peace. It's unlikely it's going to. The army has to be at a size where it is sustainable, where it is able to get the people in, where it is able to pay for it, etc. I don't know when that is going to change. I don't know what the future is going to look like for Armoured Corps, for infantry, the two main corps that people really want to go to because it's something that's so different to civilian life. So I'm really sorry. I don't know how to answer that question. Other than that, it could be a bloody long wait. It could be. We're seeing whole generations of people 3 years ago whose life has completely changed, where they went in for the U session. I want to join infantry. And they're still basically going, when is this going to come? I can't wait any longer. Then they go and do an apprenticeship or something else, get on with life, go to police force, paramedic, the angels in the street, fireman, or whatever. Get married, have a baby, change their mind, whatever. No, people don't change their mind, but just the opportunity disappears like a fart in the wind. Lemon Cat. I'm a new sub. Sorry. I'm new. Hit sub, bell button. I would like to have hear more about your military life. Was like, edit. Who the crap disliked. Okay. So basically I want to hear more about what my career was like in the military. This is not the stream for that, but there's no reason why I can't do that for you guys, so that you can follow the bouncing ball and go, okay, so that's what it looked like. That's how long the time periods were. I will quickly let you know that I am someone who never joined. I always wanted to join for a career. I grew up with toy soldiers. That's all I played with. My father was in the army. I lived in an army village, for God's sake. Sorry, 2 seconds. Nutsu cow here. Respect out to Jason Bridges. Kaz, tell us about your favourite meals in mess and field and Afghans. It's always going to be chicken wings, man. Sorry, I don't know if my comments went through in the previous video. Yeah, I'm on the way to that, I believe. Also with Jordan Carney. Jordan, no more from you. You are the wind beneath my wings within the Patreon. We had to tell him to stop paying so much to come back and give some of his money to police, paramedics, etc. in the street. Kaz, sorry I'm late. You haven't got butt herpes because you did turn up. Been busy here dodging the coronavirus. Appreciate the chat last night. No worries, mate. Went for a long time. I could have spoken for 4 hours longer. No problems, no intermissions. Not so Cow Jordan. Michael, good to have you here. Back to Jace. The Afghans, again, food. I don't understand what the fixation is with military food. It's shit, in field messes. But the harder you work, the better it tastes. The ration packs suck, but again, that's because of repetition. Beef and tortellini is always going to be the best meal. It used to be beef and gravy, but then when you ate it uncooked and you saw the ventricles and the intestine and shit that was in the meat that hadn't melted because you hadn't cooked it like you're told to do. And you should always cook your meals because what happens is it warms you up from the inside, and that actually is good for morale. But brushing your teeth is the thing that feels the best. And a little bottle of alcohol, not for consumption, but to put on your ball sack and go, on chafe, is like the winning performance on America's Got Talent. It just takes you away on a journey. So alcohol swabs, baby wipes, a salami stick, that'll excite the Elton John fans, because even when it goes green, you can still eat it. It's spicy. It's a bit of flavour on that otherwise boring, bland food in the ration pack. Sebastian White, SW, like your name. Hey, Kaz, thoughts on the military police? I'm not a real fan of the military police. Don't mix them up with civilian police. JC is here. Yeah, he can probably tell you about that too. My assessment session is the end of the month, and I'm trying to get good answers to the questions. Any tips? Well, the reason why I don't like MPs in one way is that there used to be a situation where you would have to be in an arms corps for 1 year, or another corps for at least 1 year before you could go across to MPs. That was so you knew what it was like and you could be humble and understand what it's like to be in the life of a soldier who's already under two legal institutions, civilian and army, so that you don't go ham on people, and use that as a power trip. Having said that, there's some fantastic jobs in the military police. The dog handler, they're the attack dog handlers. Engineers are the scent handlers, bomb disposal dogs, different. They also have their motorbike licenses, etc. like that. For guides, they have the close protection. I don't know if their barrels are heavier. I don't know why they carry it down like that, because they don't want to, what do you call it? They don't want to point at their buddies. Right. It depends on your age. If you're older, MPs, you might like it, but I always recommend going to another corps and then coming to MPs, and MPs won't necessarily give you a leapfrog into civilian police. So don't count on that. Okay. We've got Mr. Kozar. Where's the next intake? I believe the next intake it's before the 17th, I think. But it might be as late as the 17th. And Josh Shaddock is on that. And so is Fletch is going to be on there too. And a bunch of others. So at this stage, the 17th, I'm waiting to see if anyone says there's an intake between the 3rd and the 17th. There may not be. There's normally about 2 or 3 each month. Yep. Simon, did you ever hear the story of the 3 pregnant air women and 5 Air Force tech guys that took out half the section of SAS during pitch black at RAF Tyndall? So they compromised. It means the SAS patrol got compromised. I don't understand the context of this. Again, I never take it too seriously because it's with blanks, and the response to being compromised normally means everyone that was a witness to that is dead. So it's okay in training. Yep, you'll get the jump on the SAS, but that's how they learn too. Right? Their job is to make the stuff-ups in peace so they don't make it in war, because when they stuff up in war, it ain't good. Okay, and it ain't good for the other guy either, because the fire that comes back from these specialist warriors, is always harder. Their bite is the hardest. Okay. Just donating to the pool, to the good work you've done, Kaz. Thank you very much, mate. Not too cow with a big bang of the hand there. You just got fisted. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you, and thank me and Singleton. Fletch, you thanking Singleton? Well, Jared, is that Trump bobblehead from Hawaii? His brother got me one that looks very similar. It actually is. My daughter got me that Trump bobblehead yesterday. Sorry, from Hawaii, and that was what was on the video yesterday. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you want to see more of those videos like the one yesterday, a lot of subjects in 8 minutes to 10 minutes, then do that. Yeah. We had Mark that was on today, Mark Mays from Western Australia, a Chinese herbal guy, right? And that's what he does for profession, right? So he's in a very important part of our society now, as this coronavirus has created this shit fight that we're in at the moment. And we'll be talking about that to finish off today, because it's affecting the entire world, and the response to it is affecting the entire world. And we will speak about that. So hang on. Subscribe right now and tick a thumbs up. Tick the thumbs up later. But if you can put a thumbs up if this is your first time at a stream, and our blue moderators and the people in the channel, in the community, will always treat you with kid gloves, and they'll answer your questions in the absence of Kaz answering direct questions through there at the moment, which normally is what I do. We've got Matty Man right down there. What's the most sheep you've ever done in one day, Matt? Can you let us know? When you said 260, I was boggled. Tell them how much it is to how much you get paid for one sheep. And then everyone else can do the mathematics, but also understand that the real cost is also your back. Jackson, hey Kaz, got out of Kapuka and now at the School of Artillery, Puckapunyal. Well done, the white lanyard. They actually give you heaps of snacks during Kapuka, chocolate bars, chips, nuts, cookies, the whole lot. The food at the mess is also pretty good. There's an answer to some questions now. Not to mention all the sugar in the rat packs and outfield. I gained 6 pounds during Kapuka. It's pretty soft. Once you get ITs, it ramps up. And to some people, that might be as hard as it gets when you go to a non-arms corps, etc., support corps, whatever. Okay, when you get sugar, that is naturally an artificial spike of energy that is meant to get you going. Yep. It's not because they want the ration pack to taste good. High sugars, yeah. Not much nutrition in messes. It's all about carbohydrates, proteins, just getting that food in, the fuel, so to speak. What do you think will, who do you think will win the Democrat primary? I believe it will be Biden, especially now, but he'll be a failure. He has no chance whatsoever against the king. You can't call him that, Donald Trump. The commander, but he'll be a failure. He has no chance whatsoever against the king. You can't call him that, Donald Trump. The commander. I do not believe there is another person on earth that could do the job that Donald Trump is doing. No one. This time has just been perfect for him. Perfect. With wisdom, okay, with his personality, but also it is a time when he's been given a softball, right, by the Democrats, who have had the worst leadership that they've probably had before. So I think that Bernie has just blown it. He dug too deep into the socialist agenda, and we had a really good speak with Jordan last night, and we've determined that the Democratic Party, because of this rift where people are choosing sides, I'm either Bernie or I am Biden, that's not a real good choice. You want to make socialism or Biden, bloody, who looks like one of the cast members of the movie Cocoon, if you can remember it. He really needs a case of, what's the Brad Pitt movie? Meet Joe Black. He needs to start getting younger, because this is disgusting for the left-leaning, always crying, never producing shit. The people that especially on the fringes of the left, because what's also occurring is their biggest hatred is of old, rich, white men. There's only two people left: rich, white, old men, who have less energy than Trump. Bloody, what's his name? Bernie even had like a heart attack the other day, and he's still in the push. Kane, no more from you, thank you, mate. But thank you for the sticker and what is that, eggplant that's rocking it there? Thank you very much, mate. Not too cow. No more money from you, please. I think America's going to be in a fantastic place in another 4 years. I think it's going to break the back of the left-leaning identity politics that's occurring over there, and hopefully they really, really smarten up their institutions, the universities, etc., and start actually teaching people qualifications rather than identity politics and human studies that teach them how to fail in life, not how to fly. Nathan Franklin, thank you very much, mate. Hey, you. Not too cow, my hand's getting sore. I feel like I've been getting ready for the fight night. Kaz, could you tell us about the food in the army? Okay, we've spoken about that one. Mr. Patterson. Kaz, second last one, penultimate comment before we start moving towards, okay, the coronavirus coverage as the last of our summaries there. We've been going for 51 minutes. It's been fairly packed on. I'm getting a little bit of cotton mouth here. I hope that Lauren is going easy on you there. Is Dave D in there too? Mr. P is there? I can't see Mr. D. Okay, Kaz, you're going to eat wisely. No spicy food to disrupt your ass. I've got ulcerative colitis team, which means that I can have a volcano come out my butt, depending on what I eat. I've got spaghetti bolognese down there, mate. So tonight I'm going to feel like I've got some sort of trauma in the center of my chest. Sitting down and enjoying a meal prepared by yourself or a friend. Has the coronavirus got you overthinking and second guessing about traveling overseas to Vietnam and America? To Vietnam, yes. Okay, but that's still going to happen regardless. There's probably no better time to go overseas. America, you can't go to America because of the dollar at the moment. Now you can go with $1,000, and that's $600 left in your pocket before you open your wallet. That'd be just insane. That'd be as bad as Mr. Bloomberg, who has just spent $580 million in the last 100 days and basically hasn't got a vote. What an idiot. And now he's pulled out and he's made so many people rich with more than 5,000 accumulative years of one person on $100,000 a year, all spent, wasted, thrown down the drain. He could have cured so many different situations. He could have cleaned up inner streets. He could have paid for the meals. You know, he could have handed it out in the city he's from. Could have bought an island. Could have done a lot. He should have done everything except what he did try to do. Okay, and the Super Spartan. Is that Leonidas himself? Personal opinion. Pepsi or Coke, but vanilla Coke, any of your sugar-free Pepsi crap. Also, where did you get your bobblehead freaking gold? Well, that one, Super Spartan, that one came from Hawaii. I can't do vanilla Coke. If you want vanilla Coke, you do it the way your grandma made it. You grab the ice cream, you put it in with the Coke, you pour it in, scoop the top, and you keep doing that until there's none left, and that's called a spider. It's the best way to do it. Let's talk about coronavirus quickly, can we? The response to the coronavirus has been crazy, or has it? It's very easy to look at the coronavirus and say, I don't know why people are going to grab the shit rolls. You know, do what the Muslims do. And Taylor Swift, just wipe it off. I don't think it's not necessarily an overreaction, because it seems like there's something that we don't know yet. I don't think that the damage is going to be done by the coronavirus itself. Well, it will to those that it affects, to those it kills, to those it takes down, to those whose families get devastated by it. But economically, there has to be a reason why I believe this is the first time that China has basically had 1.3 billion people in lockdown. It is now out well over 60 countries around the world. How big would it be if we weren't on top of it? If we treated it like the common cold and said, hey, the common cold kills this many, so why not just let it do its job and or get rid of the deadwood, it'd be a lot bigger than what you realise. Yeah? It's already killed more than 3,000 in China, and it's sweeping its way around the entire world, no matter what everyone does to try and stop it. But economically, I think that is where the danger is going to be. And I'll explain that to you. And we spoke about it last night. Infantry Corps, 100%. Well done, Fletch. Neville Bloody Bartos. Who are the Deftones touring with JC? I'm not sure. The economic fallout of this is massive, massive. It's affecting tourism, mucho. It is affecting imports, exports. It means that anyone like Australia that spent so long on its knees with the appendage of China in its mouth, you could almost say we're married. It's going to affect us. It's going to affect our imports, going to affect our exports. One of the things that could also do is create some sort of humanitarian mayhem if the people like to throw off or decide we don't want communism anymore. What if an uprising that's not just Hong Kong, not just Taiwan, if all these people say you didn't look after us when we needed it most, and we decided we want an election and maybe try democracy? We're already a capitalist nation in disguise, and that's a guarantee, because if it wasn't the case, why would they call the place the land of a million millionaires? Where in a communist nation, there's no way they should be having money that they can come over to every Western society and be buying up our ports, buying up our all our properties, buying our farms, unless it was done by the government. But they're not. They're buying our real estate as well. They're buying our shops. I understand that they are state-run, that potentially money goes back, that all the photographs and all the information can go back. They're a face-driven society as well. I get that. But I believe that the biggest fallout is not going to be from the actual disease itself. And I think it's here for a long, long time. And it could actually change the landscape of the private sector across the Western world. I believe it will. We've already seen 5 Canon photography factories have closed their doors. And that's with the 1DX meant to be coming out, with the R5 meant to be coming out. Okay, that is with the Olympic Games at this stage still might be getting cancelled completely. That's only happened twice, 3 times. It happened 3 times in the last 100 years. 1916, 1940, and 1944. And now it looks like it's about to happen in 2020. Don't know. But what we do know is we're going to know the answer to this in another 6 months. Right? God bless all of those that are going through this at the moment. And I really feel, and my heart goes out to those that are screaming for help, saying, please help my dad, help my mum, help my kid, but no one's answering the call because everyone's nervous to come and help those that look like they're in harm's way that could be moved on to others. So Dave, someone tried to break into Dave's house. He caught them, didn't think there was someone there. Then went to open the door and there was people inside his garage, shit himself, and people thought that there was a woman getting raped, but it was actually Dave. That was his voice screaming, running back to the house. The car is out there. There's a baseball bat inside there. JC, is he allowed to go and get the proceeds of crime and go and take that out and make it in the trenches with Kaz bat? I would pay for that bat from him. JC, that's good. The Olympics may be cancelled. I'm not ready to compete. That's gold. Jay, wish I had shares in Sorbent. Well, at the moment, in the USA, the Dow is through the goddamn roof because of the medical companies have just exploded. Johnson & Johnson, and I'm not talking about just big pharmaceuticals. I'm not talking about your aspirins and all that sort of shit, but just your normal sanitary products and all that sort of shit have just exploded. People want it. People are buying it. And I believe that America is where most of our doomsday preppers come from. So there you go. Love the streams, mate. Cheers. I'd say your name, but yeah, we'll call you Yura. Okay, Madison, just joined the Patreon, Kaz. Thank you very much, my dear. Thank you. Nutsukel. Where are we, Madison? And just join the Patreon, Kaz. But it's being a bit laggy for me at the moment. Okay. All right. Well, you're about to come in there, Madison. Okay. Can we get some thumbs up for Madison in the chat there? And what do you think? I know Lauren will be behind it, but what do you think, Madison, about us getting an enduring gift to someone who is a volunteer worker, and we buy them a Apple Watch of their choice? Would you be happy with that? That they get a really nice watch that reminds them every day that what they do without getting paid is good to go from In the Trenches with Kaz. I think it'd be a great one. Good on you, team. Look at them all supporting there. Well done, Madison. The hour's coming up, and we will be out of here, team. I've got to get my camera gear ready and hopefully get some B-roll so that I can give you some more videos that are more of a deliberate technical message. 2 seconds. Via the UE boom, which will give you the sound quality that you want for the atmospherics, while we have just some B-roll of some beautiful beaches in the background, with Kaz representing his In the Trenches with Kaz t-shirt, doing random shit, so you can just float away, and just enjoy the message. We're here for you, team. Sent a photo already, Mr. P. There you go. I hope it's yours, mate. I hope it's not what your lunch looks like in the loo either. All right. So the deal is, the next 3 days, if you're on Patreon, you'll be on the bat phone. I want you to send a photo to the bat phone, and let's see what you've come up with. Sometimes it's not until you do these sort of things you realize how bad some people are at photography too. It can be horrible. Sometimes you got to write back, yeah, not bad, not bad. So if I write on your photo, not bad, that is me telling you that ain't that good, buddy. But I'm not an expert either. But I'll tell you what, I've pressed click so many times that occasionally I get it right. What sort of photo? As long as it's not PORN, as long as it's not the porn JC, try to get one that you've taken in the next 3 days. It defeats the purpose, Mr. P, to put it. I know you're a little bit infirmed at the moment, but to everyone else, the whole point is I want you to get off your cornhole, and I want you to get out and absorb the world and go and search for the best photo you can. And the newer it is, i.e., you don't take it until 8 o'clock on Sunday night, that'd be beautiful, because that's proof you've been living. I've lit a wick. Now it's up to you to go out into the wild and get the most imaginative photo you can. Don't get food. Don't get a photo of food. Get out to get a photo of people. Go and get a photo of the ocean. Go and get something. Look at the internet and go, give me some ideas on photography. You'll come up with something. You always do. Stoddy, what if I call it educational? You can do whatever you want. He's our local medic. Medic! Jeff, what camera are you streaming at the moment, Kaz? Just your computer? No, I'm using one of the Logitech Pros. I was going to get a DSLR hooked up to my Streamlabs account, but I still haven't been able to marry my Streamlabs back to and sync it with the new setup for the streaming of YouTube. It's very, very pedantic at the moment. It's a real ass chap, actually. Okay, Jordan, he'll like it. Stoddy, I'm thinking Monty Python. I'm going to probably get some photos that are going to make some people go, that are going to make me go, Jesus. The answer's no to that. Swipe left. Aaron Neves, link for Patreon. Mate, it's on the front page of my my channel, but it's also in the comments below to the video that was yesterday. Now, if you get on there, team, bam, you'll be on the bat phone. That is the best way if you want to get past the billions of comments that come up. We hit well above our weight when it comes to the actual communication back and forth. That is the best way to help me to help other people, while at the same time open up a line of communication one-on-one between me and you that allows us to have a conversation that is tailored just to your situation, and also means you don't have to be giving away too much about yourself. And one of the other options it allows you to do, Josh Shatrock, is to be able to have your missus with you or family with you, put it on loudspeaker, and then we all communicate together so everything's above board and people realize that I respect the entire family behind the push to go to military or to be able to make those life decisions based on any subject where you just need an outsider to give their two cents worth. Now, before we go, team, he probably wears a satchel. I'm not sure what that's about. If you're watching TDG, Who Hurt You? I'm not sure what that is. We've got a couple of videos coming up soon, which are going to be all about dilemmas. I'm going to hand you to the dilemma, and then you're going to do some soul searching, thinking what is the right answer for this, and there will be right answers. Might not be right answers, but there'll definitely be wrong answers. I look forward to seeing what you do. So the next time you're going to hear from me is probably Tuesday, unless the weather allows me to be on a cliff face somewhere and do a quick stream on Sunday. But I've told you I leave you your Sundays. It's important you get time to yourself. I don't want to interrupt on that family time. I want you to live. All right, Moana. Catch you guys. I'm heading to Jim's House of Pain. Do it, Nathan. Do it. Mr. Bryce, hope you had a fantastic weekend with your family, Kaz. Lawrence, Dottie, Dave, Pato, and all the team. Hope you all had a great weekend as well. As always, duty first. And Mr. Buckaroony, he's just got in now. Bucko, did you want to do the stream's over message? Anything important? In the chat to you. Hey, man, don't know. Not one. No one. Madison, where do we post the photo? Sorry. Madison, I'll be getting onto the Patreon people in a minute. I'll put a message up on Patreon straight after this that lets you know about the photography competition that's happening this weekend. What do you reckon? Short, no notice. It's going to be up there. Fitbit is going to the best photo. And I'll be making a video. So you guys will be going to see yourself on the big screen, and that'll be up next week. The Patreon Fitbit photo competition starts. Okay. It's going to start. And other than Mr. P, everyone, it can't be a photo that you've already taken. You have to be able to take it either Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. 8 o'clock, Sunday night. Entries close. See you later. Take it easy. That's Kaz from the Trenches with Kaz. If you didn't make it tonight and you watch this as a rerun, subscribe, tick the bell. Too late. You're going to get ass herpes for the next 24 hours. Take it easy, guys. And to all of those, remember you only get this life once. Enjoy every day. They're a limited edition. Hug your dog. Pat it for me. See ya. Kaz.